Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Magnetic Marketing for Healers, How to Share What You Do with Confidence to Attract Your Ideal Clients. My name is Stephen Dyna. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and so many people who have come to us over the years, the millions of people who have participated in Shift Network programs, want to be of greater service. And part of that is bringing transformational skills out to an audience. And most of the time, people have some issues or challenges around that because of the programming we inherit, things from growing up. And it's important to really have a way of reaching out to do marketing in a way that has soul, integrity, and depth. And so today we're going to get to spend time with Sharla Jacobs, who's the co-founder of the Thrive Academy. She and her husband, Jesse, I really consider the #1 source for turning coaches and holistic practitioners into six-figure transformational leaders. There have been so many people in my orbit and through Shift faculty who have originally trained with Jesse and Sharla, gone on to build really excellent businesses. And in the past 21 years, I guess the stats is Thrive Academy members have earned $500 million collectively, which is all translates into a lot of people healed and served. So this is about building a wave of transformation that can really shift the future on planet Earth. And so we're really blessed that Sharla and Jesse have really focused on this particular window of getting transformational practitioners who have real skills into being successful business owners. So Sharla, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, I'm so honored to be here, Stephen. It's just, I love being on faculty, and what an extraordinary community devoted to transforming lives. Can't wait for our call today.
Great. Well, I'm excited as well. I know you always have fresh insights and material, and so we're going to be building into a new phase of work with Sharla. It's a whole course coming up called the New Client Attraction Coach. Share what you do with confidence, clarity, and credibility, and start enrolling clients you love. So if you get excited by today, then we have the next step for you ready to go, and Sharla can help train you to really be one of those successful holistic practitioners. So Sharla, we're going to do things as you like to do because you've got a very structured presentation with a lot of great information. So I'm going to sort of step back and not do my usual question and answer and just give you the floor and let you deliver some powerful insights for folks. So go ahead, take it away.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, I want to start by welcoming every transformational leader, practitioner, coach, healer. Just love that you're here. And if you have ever struggled with finding the right words when someone asks you, what do you do? Instead of sparking curiosity, maybe you watch their eyes glaze over. If that is you, you are in the right place. Today, you're going to discover how to share what you do with confidence and with credibility and with clarity so that it feels natural and that your ideal clients will lean in and want to work with you. And there are people out there who are already looking for you, and we want to match these things together. So when your words come from the heart, your potential clients feel it, but we have to be grounded in understanding how to reach them in a way. Like you're always like, I want to find the people who need what I have. Well, that's what today is about. And we want people to say, I need that, or I know someone who needs that. Not only that, if that's not happening yet, if you're not consistently filling your schedule, your programs, your workshops, whatever it is, with clients you love, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's simply because nobody has ever showed you how to translate the depth of your work into words that others immediately understand. And whether you want a full practice or you're ready to step into transformational leadership, learning how to communicate your value clearly and authentically is one of the most important foundations for creating a thriving business that supports both your prosperity and your purpose. So during today's live call, or during today's video, you're going to discover why elevator pitch formulas fall flat and the heart-centered shift that has people lean in with curiosity in a way you never feel pushy. The 3 most common mistakes that many healers and coaches make when answering the question, what do you do? And simple changes you can make that get potential clients excited to work with you. We're going to go through the client attraction code and the 4 essential client attractors to have in place before you spend any time on a website, a logo, social media strategy, anything and that will help you actually bring in clients. You'll hear some real life examples from coaches and holistic practitioners who went from struggling to thriving once they shifted how they spoke about their work. And how to grow your practice without hype or hard selling by creating authentic credibility, plus the path to building a thriving practice that supports both your purpose and prosperity. So if you've been doing all the marketing things, and you've been trying to get the words right, but you're still feeling invisible or misunderstood, I want to invite you to take a deep breath right now, because you're about to discover how to change all of that. So we have taught our hard selling system to more than 150,000 coaches and holistic practitioners. In the past 21 years, we've had over 14,000 people attend our live Client Attraction Summit event. And as Stephen said earlier, our members have earned over $500 million collectively, and that's actually conservative. And it still amazes me when I think about where it all began. I'm so grateful that I've gotten to do this work with my husband and business partner, Jesse Corin, because it didn't start out that way. Back then, way back when I started, I was a newly licensed acupuncturist and certified life coach with $80,000 in student loan debt and a heart full of purpose, but no idea how to get clients. Now, my first business mentor gave me a simple assignment: talk to 20 potential clients a day. Gasp, right? So I went to every networking event that I could find. Clutching my business cards, rehearsing what to say. And there I was, standing at a table of 8 people, just after the rubber chicken lunch, heart pounding, palm sweating, waiting for my turn, nervous as could be. And when it came my time, I smiled and said something like, I'm a certified coach and licensed acupuncturist, and I help people feel more balanced in their mind, body, and spirit. And a few polite nods, a forced smile, and then, on to the next person. And when it came time to connect afterwards, nobody approached me to talk to me about what I did. And then, I had to go and have conversations and politely got business cards, but the people that I called never called back. And I felt myself feeling more desperate every time. And every drive home, I'd feel that tightness in my chest, that wondering if I'd made a huge mistake. Because if this dream of helping people was just too hard to sustain. And I remember seriously considering paying $5,000 to have somebody help me figure out my messaging, money that I didn't have, because I was so desperate for people to finally get what I did. And 2 months later, after having hundreds of conversations and only getting a couple of new clients, I was exhausted and frustrated. But that's when I had a divine download. And our 5 elements of heart selling system was born. There's a heart-centered way to enroll that felt, authentic and not salesy. And when I first started using the 5 elements of heart selling, everything shifted. I finally knew how to invite people to work with me in a way that felt natural and actually worked to get clients. That first month that I switched to heart selling, I earned $5,400, which was enough to breathe again. And Jesse watched me do this, and he got enough clients to finally quit his job. Now, we combined forces, and we earned $175,000 in our first year. Look at those kids. And other coaches and holistic practitioners kept asking us how we were doing it. So we created the first Client Attraction Summit to teach hard selling and the core skills that fill a practice. That was 2004. Now, fast forward years later, after Jesse and I had already taught thousands of clients how to attract more clients using hard selling. And we had, honestly, by that time, we had already launched hundreds of 6- and 7-figure transformational leaders. We saw something that had been missing all along. And here's what happened. As Jesse and I were at a business event, and he noticed something pretty fascinating. He noticed that when he introduced himself by saying something like, I'm a business coach, that people politely smiled and started giving him advice. But when he added credibility, when he added a few words of credibility, things shifted pretty dramatically. So way back then, we would say something like, well, my wife and I run the largest holistic business training school in North America, and we've helped over 150,000 coaches and healers attract clients. So people leaned in and they wanted to know more. And that was the moment that something really clicked, because we had been teaching these individual pieces that attract clients: credibility, niche, talking about what do you do, and hero's journey story. But we had never shown our members how to combine those elements into a compelling statement that has people instantly see the value and want to know more. This realization became the foundation of what we now call the Client Attraction Code. And this is a simple, repeatable process for creating a message that's clear, that's credible, and that has you feel deeply connected to who you are. And once we began teaching this message, it just became even easier for our clients to attract more of their ideal clients. They booked more discovery calls. They got more referrals. They filled their programs. They filled their workshops. They booked more speaking gigs, and they had more ideal clients saying, I need that. So once you can communicate the value of your work with confidence and specificity and authenticity, everything else in your business falls into place. This essential messaging piece makes all of your marketing magnetic, and without it, it's really challenging to be effective in getting clients. But once you get it, it allows you to grow your practice without any hype or without any hard selling. So let's talk about why most elevator pitch formulas fall flat and the heart-centered shift that has people lean in with curiosity so you never have to feel pushy. Now, I don't know about you, but the term elevator pitch kind of never really resonated with me. It's like kind of this old transactional idea that you've got 30 seconds to make your pitch before they can escape the elevator. But let's be honest, when someone's pitching, you can feel it, right? Their energy shifts. They're trying to impress instead of trying to connect. But what we're teaching here isn't about pitching at all, because this client attraction code statement is a conversation starter. It's something that naturally can open curiosity and connection with an ideal client. But the problem is that, like most of the elevator pitch formulas out there, they all kind of make everybody sound the same. You can sound kind of robotic. And this is especially in 2025. So there's never been a time when more coaches and healers and holistic practitioners are entering the marketplace, which is beautiful because more people are going to get service, like more people who are waking up and wanting to heal. That's wonderful. But it also means that your ideal clients are hearing dozens of similar messages every day. And so this is why it's more important than ever that you find language that differentiates you, not through hype, but through clarity and credibility and connection. Now, you've probably heard this one before, and I gave an example of it earlier. I help people feel more balanced and aligned in their mind, body, and spirit. These are really lovely words, but they're too broad, and they aren't going to speak to your ideal clients in a way that's like, I've got an urgent need. I need help urgently. I need to take action now. And when all of the healers and transformational practitioners and coaches out there sound the same, potential clients don't know who to trust. They don't know why you are the one to help them. Now, on the flip side, if you don't have any structure at all, right, like I talked about elevator pitches feeling too structured, they often ramble on. They talk too long, they focus too much on their process, and they lose people's attention. Now, we've had thousands of people go through our process for creating the client attraction code, your unique statement, and we found this simple truth. When you share what you do with clarity, authenticity, and a few essential ingredients, your message stops being a pitch and becomes an invitation. You're not trying to convince anyone. You're simply creating a moment of resonance, and the right people will lean in because they can feel that this might be for them. So what gets in the way of that? Well, we've got 3 common mistakes that many coaches, healers, holistic practitioners, transformational leaders make when answering the question, what do you do? And simple changes you can make that will get potential clients excited to work with you. Now, these mistakes can keep even the most gifted people, the most gifted service providers from having their ideal clients lean in and say, I need that. Now, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1 so you can see where you might be unintentionally pushing clients away. So we're going to start with mistake number 3 and check yourself to see if you're doing this one. Leading with your title. Leading with your title. I know you worked hard to get that title, but most people were not taught that when you share your title, something like I'm a life coach, I'm a spiritual practitioner, I'm a Reiki practitioner, people's minds automatically file you into a category. They think they already know what that means, and they're likely to tune out. So if you've ever said your title and people politely nod and they change the subject, it's not your fault. But when you lead with title, you miss that chance for a real conversation that's about curiosity and connection. What people actually want to know, even if they don't say it out loud, is can you help me and can I trust you? And that's why instead of starting with the title, We help our members craft a short, powerful way of describing what they do that goes deeper, a message that instantly connects and builds trust and positions you as someone who can facilitate real transformation. So that was mistake number 3. Mistake number 2 is talking about your process. I know you love your process. Like, I know you've put a lot of time and energy into your process, and your process is beautiful. But if you focus on your process instead of the transformation, instead of the results that you can help people get, even though I know you've invested years in your trainings, your certification, and all of the practice, and it is fascinating, and it's what lights you up, and that's awesome. But when you start explaining the details, it's easy to overwhelm potential clients and lose them. For example, some of our members came in so excited about EMDR, right? Maybe you've heard of it, that when someone would ask them what they do, they would respond with something like this. Well, I use a method called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or EMDR, which helps people reprocess traumatic memories by stimulating both hemispheres of the brain through guided eye movements. Now, if you are an EMDR practitioner, like, that's amazing. It is amazing. But just take a moment and imagine hearing that if you've never studied trauma healing. It's a lot, right? And that's exactly what happens is when you describe how you work instead of what changes happen for your clients, they can't picture themselves in it. And when people can't see themselves in it, they tune out. So I have an example here. This is Dr. Tara May. And she is a licensed marriage and family therapist, and she's a great example because she uses one of the most research-backed trauma healing methods there is, EMDR. But early on, when she focused on explaining the EMDR process, potential clients couldn't grasp how it could help them. But once she started talking about the results her clients could get instead, instead of the steps in her method, everything changed. So she filled her practice pretty quickly. She has a fun story about she used to hide in the bathroom when she would go to networking events, but now she has consistent $10,000 plus months, and she's ended up moving to a brand new town, having to hire other therapists to work with her because people could finally understand the value of her work. So that is, that is what's possible when you can describe what is possible instead of how it works. People really feel it, and then they can imagine themselves in that transformation, and it really draws clients in. So that was mistake number 2. And mistake number 1, the biggest mistake that you could make that could be repelling clients, is leaving out your credibility. Most people were never taught to talk about their credibility in a way that feels natural. So they either skip it completely, or they swing so far the other way and they avoid it because they don't want to sound arrogant. Now, credibility is not about bragging. It's about helping people feel safe that they can work with you. And if you're thinking, but Sharla, I don't have many years of experience yet, take a breath, because you can absolutely build credibility from wherever you are. There are so many ways to do it. In our client attraction code system, we have 6 ways that work even if you're just starting out. Things like maybe you had a personal breakthrough or an achievement. Even if it's unrelated to the work that you do now, sometimes we can find a way to weave it in. Or maybe you, can up-level the way you show up when you're in front of people, and that makes a big difference. So there's so many things that you can do, highlighting client success stories. We'll talk a little bit more about credibility in a moment, just to name a few, though. And this is one of the 4 client attractors, so it makes your message and all of your marketing so much more magnetic. But for now, I want you to remember this. When you include even one small thread of credibility, people begin to relax, and they start to trust that you are the one that could help them, and that trust is the bridge to connection. And so now that you can see these mistakes, mistake number 3 was leading with your title, 2, focusing on your process, and mistake number 1 is leaving out your credibility. I'm hoping it's easier to understand why even gifted people, transformational workers, struggle to attract consistent clients. And it's not because you're not talented or you're not spiritual enough. It's simply because you don't have a clear structure that helps people instantly understand your value. Now, if you want to fix these mistakes, we're going to be doing that in our upcoming course, the new client attraction code. And I'm going to be talking about these things in just a moment, because the truth is, what worked in 2020 isn't working the same way in 2025 anymore. Potential clients are actually more discerning now. They can spot like surface level marketing a mile away. And the only thing that truly cuts through the noise is when your message reflects this lived experience, your credibility, and you get to bring your heart to it. And that's exactly what this process helps you create. So we're going to get into the client attraction code now and the 4 essential client attractors that you must have in place before you spend any time on a website or a logo or anything that is designed to get you clients. So the client attraction code is a simple and repeatable framework that brings together all 4 essential client attractors, the key ingredients of a message that help you feel magnetic and authentic and uniquely yours. And that's the really fun part about it. And you must have all 4 in place before you spend any time on any kind of marketing. When you do this, you stop chasing clients. You start naturally attracting the right people who are already looking for what you have to offer. And so the first client attractor in your client attraction code is, what do you guess? We were just talking about it. It is credibility. It's credibility. And it's often the missing link between people having polite interest versus them leaning in and saying like, oh, I need to talk to you, or I need someone who needs to talk to you. So I want to share a few examples of how our members use credibility and how they use them to create major breakthroughs in their business. So when most coaches and holistic practitioners and healers try to talk about what they do, they skip over the pieces that make people trust them. And again, credibility isn't about bragging. It's about giving potential clients a reason to believe that you can help them. And you can do that in a way that feels completely aligned with who you are. So for example, I promised you examples, real world examples. This is Honey Chang. And she first came to the Client Attraction Summit when we were live and in person. And she came from Singapore because a friend recommended it. And at the time, she was working with just a few corporate clients, but she wanted more freedom to work from anywhere. She wanted to travel. And so she learned to weave in her experience of running her business from 5 different countries, she'd say from San Francisco to Hong Kong, into her client attraction code statement. And this credibility made people kind of curious, and it made her a little more interesting. And within 3 months of creating her client attraction code statement, she made $40,000 while living in a completely new country. And she said that in the first quarter, that was just the first quarter while she was running her first group program. So then we have Lori Opal. And when she came to us, she was a single mother with young girls. She was a licensed marriage family therapist, and she was rebuilding her practice after recovering from cancer and going through a divorce. And once she learned how to create credibility for herself, she really didn't change anything else but creating credibility. She had an $11,000 month just within 2 months of joining Thrive, and now has a multiple 6-figure practice. I love this picture of Lori with a bunch of other Thrivers in Paris. Every single one of them is a member of our esteemed $10,000 a month club. And then there is Jackie Simpson, who is an energy healer. And when she came to Thrive, she had been doing like 2 sessions a week. And she used to say, her title, I'm an energy healer and workshop leader. But she was just doing 2 healing sessions per week and dipping into family funds to keep her business going. And then she heard me speak on a call like this one, and then she followed her inner guidance to join our programs. And her new client attraction code statement, it sounds confident and it's grounded in truth. So this is what her code statement became. I've been a spiritual guide and energy healer for over 20 years, and I've led more than 500 workshops and retreats, including being an instructor at UNLV. I support women who are feeling emotionally disconnected and spiritually confused to find peace and clarity. Totally different, right? Totally different than I'm an energy healer and workshop leader. And within the first 4 weeks, she made $23,000. And then 3 weeks later, she added another $16,000. Pretty exciting for a total of $39,000 in just 7 weeks. Now, I want you to notice how her credibility changes things, because once people hear some kind of real world experience stated clearly and humbly, they relax and they trust you. And then when they trust you, your marketing just becomes more magnetic. So I invite you to take a breath and imagine what would happen if you fully owned your credibility. And love to help you with that. So that was client attractor number 1, credibility. Now we're going to talk about client attractor number 2, which is to nail your niche. So niche has 3 parts: the people you help, the problem you solve, and the results they most want. So you can do people, problem, result. The people you help, the problem that you solve, and the result they most want. Now, when you don't have clarity on these 3 things, it's much harder for people to understand how you can work with them. And you might talk about what you do and people would say things like, that sounds interesting. And they might even get geeky with you for a little bit about what you do, but they're not thinking this is for me. But when you have this clarity of the people, problem, result, it's like flipping on a light switch. Suddenly the right people recognize themselves in your words and they feel understood and they lean in. And because I care about you creating magnetic marketing, I'm going to share an inconvenient truth about marketing in 2025. Talking about spiritual transformation alone and being really broad in terms of the problem and result is likely keeping you struggling to attract clients. Now, I still want you to be a spiritual person and do spiritual work and go deep with people. Absolutely, 100%. It doesn't have to change the way that you work with people, but there are more transformational professionals online than ever before. Coaches, healers, guides, saying versions of the same thing. And specificity is what cuts through the noise. So when you clearly name the people, the urgent problem, and they're actively seeking a solution to this problem, your message will land differently. People feel seen, and that creates trust faster than any kind of fancy funnel. So this is why in the Client Attraction Code, we help you find that sweet spot where your passion meets a real world problem that your ideal clients are actively trying to solve. So if you've ever felt frustrated because people don't get it, or they, love their work, the work that they did with you, even clients, but they can't explain it to others, it's probably because your message doesn't yet name that people, problem, and result, and it's not clear and specific enough. So I'm going to give you an example, and you're going to catch the mistake, right? So this is Mark Ryan before he came to Thrive. He was a talented acupuncturist, and he wanted to make a big impact. And through our Nail Your Niche process, he realized that the people that he wanted to help most were those who were struggling with Hashimoto's, because he had lived through it himself and he had found a way to heal naturally. So let's break this down. Okay, first, the mistake was he was saying, I'm an acupuncturist and an herbalist. That's title. We talked about that being a mistake. But he shifted to people, the people diagnosed with Hashimoto's, the problem, thyroid symptoms that are from, autoimmunity, which he would name those symptoms explicitly in his marketing because he knows specifically what his people are suffering from and what they really need support with, what they want relief from. And the results that they want is they want to heal from Hashimoto's naturally and without complex protocols. So going from an acupuncturist who could help anyone and everyone to this niche changed things dramatically for Mark. So soon after that, he was invited to become a Hay House author and write the book, The Hashimoto's Healing Diet. He had regular $10,000 months. He's now helped thousands of people all over the world. And this is Dr. Amatma Shah. And when she first came to us, she had a big heart and an even bigger mission, but her message wasn't focused. She was a naturopathic doctor, and she was running a donation-based practice in the San Francisco Bay Area and earning about $20,000 a year. Through her work with us, through this Nail Your Niche process, she chose infertility as her niche, because she loved helping couples build families. And once she clarified the people, problem, result, you can imagine, I just want you to imagine, like going from helping anybody with everything, right? Because she was a naturopathic doctor. But now she clarified, she wrote a book, she gets media spots, and about 95% of the couples that she speaks with become paying clients. Now, she is now Dr. Amatma Simmons. She has since been married and had her own baby. And through her work here with Thrive, she went from $20,000 a year to $20,000 a month. And that's a pretty regular occurrence. And she says to this day, she still uses things that she learned here at Thrive to help her with her business. And she's doing deeply fulfilling work. And one of the coolest things is that she even got to take 3 full months off after having her own baby, and her business continued to thrive. So niching isn't about limiting yourself. It's about clarity and it's about focus. And so your messaging and your marketing doesn't get lost in the noise and that the right people can finally find you. All right, so let's go on to client attractor number 3, your what do you do statement. This is a short way to describe your work so people immediately understand that you can help them. When someone asks you, what do you do? It's another way of asking, how do you help people? So I want you to imagine that when somebody says, what do you do? That's really what they're asking is, how do you help people? Again, your what do you do statement isn't meant to summarize everything you do. It's simply a conversation starter. It's like a doorway that lets potential clients recognize themselves in it and say, oh, tell me more. And this 1 or 2 sentence statement is really your foundation. Later, when we combine it with the other client attractors, credibility, niche, and here's journey story, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, it evolves into your 100% unique client attraction code statement. And this magnetically attracts the right people. So I'm going to go back to our example with Mark. He went from, I'm an acupuncturist and an herbalist. I told you that his niche became Hashimoto's. And so now, after defining this, people say, what do you do? And he says, I help people heal Hashimoto's naturally without overcomplicated protocols or chasing one supplement after another. Do you see how the people, problem, and result are in that statement? And this is what happens when your what do you do statement becomes grounded in your lived experience and the transformation that you help create. All right, on to client attractor number 4, your hero's journey story. This is the story of how you came to do what you do. And it tells us why you care so deeply about helping others. Human beings are wired for story. It's how we connect, it's how we remember, it's how we trust. So if you want your message to land at a really deep soul level, you must share your story in a way that reveals your heart and your credibility without oversharing or losing focus. Really hard thing to do. Now there's a very specific structure for this. We use a formula. It's one of the formulas that Hollywood uses to capture our imagination and to feel and get into the story. And when you follow the story formula, your story becomes magnetic. It helps people feel like, wow, you really get me. And it shows them you are the one that can guide me through this journey that I'm on. Now, as you go through the steps to craft your own unique client attraction code, you'll write your hero's journey story, which is cool. You'll write the full story out. So you have that. It's kind of like a bonus that you get the full hero's journey story. And we might even weave a snippet of your story into your client attraction code statement. And this is one of the things that has people instantly feel connected to you. It can be like a beta interrupt where they're going about their day and they're kind of like, what do you do? And then you share what you do and it's like, wait, what? It makes you really fascinating. And it also has people feel more connected. So then we might be using a snippet. So I'm going to share an example here. This was Melissa before she came to Thrive, and people would say, what do you do? And she would say, I'm a shamanic healer. Again, you already know that that's a mistake, right? That's the title. Now, when she came to us, she had just lost her entire savings and business property in foreclosure. She was making about $2,000 a month from her healing practice, not nearly enough to support her and her kids in San Diego. And she told me that with the money stress, her health was deteriorating. She was in the midst of losing her marriage. But she went through this process and discovered how to share her story, her real story. And it, in a way for her that felt authentic and powerful and aligned. And now when somebody, like when she asks, she's asked to talk about her work in any way, she shares this. I'm a former Stanford-educated business attorney who accidentally turned psychic while giving birth to my daughter in the year 2000. Now, I have a 7-figure business helping women develop their intuitive genius so they can make money with soulful work. Are you like, wow? That simple shift in her story completely changed the way people saw her. Her credibility was instantly clear, her message was unforgettable, and her business skyrocketed first to 6 figures, then multiple 6 figures, and into 7 figures, where she's actually changed the lives of thousands of women over the years. And I love this. She says, I remember when I had my first $10,000 month, I was amazed at how simple it was when I followed the formulas that Jesse and Sharla gave us. So, question for you is, how do you weave all of this together? Your credibility, your niche, your story, your what do you do statement. Well, it's one of the things I love most about the new client attraction code, because when you combine even a few of these client attractors, you create a message that gives you instant credibility, that draws in your ideal clients naturally, that allows you to charge rates you can feel genuinely confident about. But if you try to figure this out all on your own, it can be confusing and overwhelming and take you years of trial and error, even if you try to use AI. And that's why we created a guided process so you can create your own authentic message step by step. Because when we take each of these pieces, credibility, niche, story, and your what do you do statement, it reveals a part of your brilliance that you might never think of on your own. And when you put them together, it's just a big, huge lift in how people see you. So I'm going to share some real results from the new Client Attraction Code course in action. So remember Mark Ryan, who found his niche, helping people heal Hashimoto's. Well, here's how he put all 4 client attractors together in his 100% unique client attraction code statement. He says, I'm the author of the Hay House book, The Hashimoto's Healing Diet. For the past 12 years, I've helped thousands of women heal Hashimoto's without overcomplicated protocols or chasing one supplement after another. And we just talked about Melissa. She went from saying, I'm a shamanic healer to, I'm a former Stanford-educated business attorney who accidentally turned psychic while giving birth to my daughter in the year 2000. Now I have a 7-figure business helping women develop their intuitive genius so they can make money with soulful work. So if you are ready to craft your own client attraction code statement, an authentic one that feels aligned, that's powerful, and that helps you magnetize your ideal clients, so all of your marketing is lined up and draws in the right people, I'd love to walk you through the step-by-step system so you can grow your practice without any hype, without any hard selling, by creating your unique credibility statement and all of these things. It's so fun. This is the new Client Attraction Code, and I'm so excited to support you with this. You can follow along at newclientattraction.com. If you want to go ahead and go to that URL, open it up, and you can just put it right into your browser or click the link provided on the event page and do that. And so I'm going to walk you through what you can get in this course. So we created this course because we know how challenging it is to attract clients if you haven't first defined all of these client attractors. But once you do this foundational work, and I mean, you got to go back and do this if you haven't done it yet, you're going to be walking the path to building a thriving practice that supports both your purpose and your prosperity. So the new Client Attraction Code was designed to help you clarify how to talk about your work in a way that sparks genuine interest, to gain confidence sharing your message without hype or jargon, to build your credibility even if you're just starting out, and to create a flow of new clients with these confidence-building mindset shifts and practical enrollment skills that you're going to walk away with. So in this transformational course, you're going to discover how to stop getting blank stares when you talk about what you do, and instead light people up with curiosity and connection. You'll finally have the words that feel true and attract paying clients and give you the confidence to step fully into your calling, doing that healing work you were meant to do, while creating the stability and freedom that you desire in your own life. Now, it's been updated for 2025 because attention spans are shorter and your potential clients are more discerning. Generic language just fades in the background, and the only way to capture attention now is with this specificity and clarity. And when you can describe the challenges they have and the transformation that you can create in plain and powerful and potent language, people will immediately know that what you have to offer is for them. So this course will teach you how to create an emotionally resonant and 100% unique client attraction code statement so people will say, I need to work with you, or I know someone who needs to work with you. Again, the URL is newclientattractioncode.com if you're not already there with us. And when you get on the page, I want to invite you to scroll down to the place where you see the headline, what you'll discover in these 7 weeks. I'm going to walk you through each of the modules now. In Module 1, you'll create your bold vision for a thriving business. So I'm going to help you clarify the vision that pulls you forward and magnetically attracts clients. When you rise out of fear and into inspiration, your energy and your marketing becomes more magnetic. So we're going to tap into your vision to fuel your confidence and clarify your pricing, and we're going to draw in clients and opportunities and prosperity through your vision. In module 2, we are going to get right to work on your credibility. How do you cultivate credibility and build unshakable credibility that instantly earns trust? So you're going to discover how to confidently share your credibility in a way that creates an instant connection. It dissolves imposter syndrome. It positions you as the obvious choice for your ideal clients. In module 3, we're going to go through our process to help you nail your niche so you can find the people you're meant to serve and make it easy for them to say yes to you. You will clarify exactly who you help and the urgent problem you solve and the results that your people want so that your message sparks instant recognition. It draws in ideal clients instantly and naturally and aligns with the kind of work that truly lights you up. In module 4, we are going to take that niche and we're going to plug it into the irresistible what do you do statement formula. So it sparks curiosity and connection every time somebody asks you, what do you do? So this is part of the steps in the process, right? And we'll create this clear statement that naturally attracts your ideal clients. And so instead of feeling invisible, you start to feel confident and connected and excited to share your transformation. And then in module 5, we'll get into your hero's journey story, client attractor number 4. So you're going to turn your story into a magnet for new clients so that you build that instant trust, you build that emotional connection, and ideal clients see themselves in your journey and they feel inspired to say yes to working with you. And then the real fun part is module 6, when we put it all together to create your 100% unique signature client attraction code. So we're going to take your story, your skills, your credibility, we're going to put it into a magnetic 2-sentence statement. You'll synthesize everything that you've learned into this concise, compelling statement that instantly communicates the value of what you have to offer and opens doors to new clients and new opportunities. And then finally, in week 7, you'll gain the confidence and skills to consistently attract high-paying clients. So you're going to discover how to turn that client attraction code into new clients and how to have consistent $10,000 months. We're going to bring it to life. You're going to get a taste of our proven heart selling system so you can confidently enroll new ideal clients, charge what you want, and create consistent $10,000 months doing the work that you love. So I hope that gets you really excited about the new client attraction code.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, let me jump in. I mean, what an amazing transmission of wisdom you just offered. And I love the specificity of each segment. It's really clear why over 20 years you've built such an incredible following, because you really have nailed each part of this formula that really helps people to be authentic and get to the signal that cuts through the noise. Like, the world gets noisier every year and the online world gets noisier every year, and the precision with which people talk about what they're here to deliver, for whom, and how they can do that in a way that establishes credibility is just so awesome. And I know that you've really honed all the processes that get people to that stage so that they can, several of those folks that you cite as case studies are friends of ours, and we know like the kind of impact you had in their lives, and then the downstream effect on the thousands of other lives that they touch as well. So I really see this as like foundational work for, like, so many people get, so many times I'll talk to people that got turned on, had a spiritual openings, got a calling into healing, had to go through transform a deep personal challenge, and then they get, after 5-10 years of that, they get called, I want to make this full time, and then they develop a bunch of skills, and then the part where they often kind of need to jump off into the unknown is, how do I position myself? How do I get the word out there? How do I be authentic and really bring the magic that I can bring to the world in a way that gives me a good livelihood? And I feel like you're just offering such good medicine for that moment. So, and I know this program has been, so successful in a lot of lives, and the new version is even better. So again, it's all at newclientattraction.com. And I'll share a little bit about the logistical side since Charlotte's been talking for a while. We'll give her a little break. And but so in addition to the 7 90-minute live sessions with Charlotte, which are going to be great times to ask your questions, do exercises together, engage in practices, is not just like one-way teaching. It's really you're doing experiential work to sort of hone your own self-reflection and knowledge and positioning of your work. But then you also get recordings of every session, both video and audio, as well as word for word transcripts, which are so helpful to be able to go back and go over and any points you might have missed or to clarify. There's weekly exercises you can do at home. There's an exclusive online community to support you and deepen your experience and also make network, because part of this is you build a network of people who are committed to doing transformational work. In parallel, that those actually become some of your biggest champions and allies as well. There's also small group time to connect with other participants. So we also have on this page, you'll see a number of extra bonuses that Sharla and Jesse have been very generous in offering into this program. The first is called the Fast Track Formula, Craft Your Code with AI Coaching. So moving into the AI era here, really, this is $1,000 value by itself, and this includes 5 custom GPT AI wizards. So want to share a little bit about that? That's a brand new bonus that I haven't heard about before.
I am over the moon excited about these wizards. It's like, I feel like just the wizards alone are like worth the new client attraction code, because I want you to imagine that you can almost get on-demand coaching from me and Jesse in our 21 years. Jesse's my husband and business partner, in our 21 years of developing this content, working with thousands and thousands of Thrive members to help them create compelling client attraction code statements. And the wizards can save you hours of frustration, help you know if you're on the right track, and you can access it anytime. And so you can do it at your own pace. And basically the wizards mimic personalized support of a top trained Thrive business coach. We have coaches that work in our company and coach our members. And it's like getting coaching from them, where you'll have the confidence, clarity, and credibility faster than ever. So you get all 5 wizards. So basically the credibility wizard, the niche wizard, the what do you do wizard, the hero's journey story wizard, the code statement wizard. We're going to, uncover your hidden accomplishment, ask you questions. So we're going to pull out credibility you might not have even thought of with the questions that we ask. With the niche, we'll help you hone in on exactly who you serve, because if you're trying to pull it out of thin air, this is really difficult. And even if you went to like ChatGPT and said, help me find my niche, it's not going to be the same process. Like we've spent, years and years and years refining these processes and building these templates, and this whole process we're going to go through in the class so that you can understand the psychology behind it and open up your mind to getting the best results through the wizards. And then you get the wizards and you get to get in there with the AI coaching. It's incredible. And it'll, put some guardrails in there and support you so that if you start thinking kind of off the rails, maybe something trying to be too broad, or maybe you're missing out, like your idea of what you think is most credible is not actually what's going to land with your potential clients. These wizards will guide you to that. And then the code wizard is so fun because it takes all the stuff that you already did and puts it together and helps you with versions. And you can push back just like you do with when you're working with ChatGPT. I can't even tell you how exciting this is for this like on demand, like almost like coaching on demand.
What an amazing offering that is, to be able to get access to so much of that wisdom in a AI format that allows you to mirror and bounce back and bounce different ideas off. Really so helpful. And that's a huge bonus by itself. As you said, it's $1,000 value. It's worth the investment in the program to begin with. And there's a special bonus that is also available for anyone who signs up by midnight tonight. This is because we like to encourage you to make a decision while you have the most knowledge. It's very easy to get distracted by life if you sort of go and do something else. But now when you have the most information and you've really received this wisdom transmission from Sharla, then if you choose to move forward today, you're going to get a special bonus for doing so. And this is a 60-minute video. It's a $300 value by itself. It's called Secrets to Booking Consults. Sharla, you want to share a little bit about today's special bonus when folks sign up right away?
You bet. When you've got your client attraction code and you're talking to potential clients, We want you to have a really easy way for them to say yes to working with you and to even getting a taste of working with you. And a lot of times people think this is a sample session, a sample of your work, but that's pretty ineffective. And so we want to give you the exact questions to ask in the right order so that you're actually in a coaching conversation. So it's it's not about talking somebody into working with you. It's really about having a conversation, asking questions, and having the potential client discover if this is a good match for them. And so it's an incredible skill to be able to deliver the consult. And so you're going to get a video on secrets to booking consults that will help you be way more effective when you deliver them. So that's the next step after you get your client attraction code, is let's start booking you some calls. And that's why we want to help you do an amazing job of having those potential clients say yes if it's a good match.
That is an amazing extra bonus today. That's just the extra bonus, and highly worth signing up right away. It's money back guarantee of your satisfaction. So there's really no reason not to do it. You're going to get that special bonus if you sign up right away. And there's more detail at newclientattraction.com. So again, the whole program is laid out in more detail. I also recommend just tuning with your own inner knowing. And if you're getting the sense of like anything that's spoken to you in this hour that you're not doing at the highest level, do this course, because you will refine however you've been approaching, presenting your work, marketing your work. It's going to get better with Sharla. And Sharla's really gifted at doing this. They've built systems over 20 years. They've really focused on their niche, which is really interesting. We've talked about, should you do something for people above, they're like, no, we're really focused on this startup phase to 6 figures. And they've really honed that for holistic practitioners in a way that is unparalleled. So we've kept the investment. Actually, if you do this program at the Thrive Academy, it's actually $997 when it's on sale. So Sharla always is sort of like, oh God, we're going to do this for this lower rate. But we get this great deal for the Shift Network, which is you can do it for 3 payments of $128, or you save 10% and you pay in full for 1 payment of $349. So that's like a third of the on sale price at the Thrive Academy. So it's a lot of value, particularly now with these extra wizards. And the course is going to start November 13th and run Thursdays at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. So there's some great testimonials on the page as well, from both like people who have built their businesses up from scratch to people who have been very well established leaders in the field, and all of whom rave about Sharla and Jesse's work. And the Thrive Academy really just is the best at doing what needs to happen, which is to be able to market yourself with integrity, with depth, with heart, in a way that gets results. And I encourage you to go to newclientattraction.com and make your decision now. It's better for you if you do so, and you'll get the special fast bonus of Secrets to Getting Referrals video, which is a $300 value if you sign up by midnight tonight. So Sharla, you are just so good at delivering powerful information and processes that can really help empower transformational healers. And I just see going out from you, that all the millions of lives that are touched as a result of people really being able to just communicate what they're here to do for other people in a way that makes them value it. So, Charlotte, anything you want to still share about the course or what's this opportunity?
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. You told a story earlier about how many people you've talked to that have had this huge spiritual awakening, that have been through some really dark night of the soul, something difficult, and have come out saying, whew, I want to help others. I want to make a difference. And it's like the mission at the Shift Network is to shift the consciousness of the world, right? Like, we're here to transform people's lives. And if you can't get clients, you can't do that. And so I want to take a moment to acknowledge, for those of you watching right now, it takes courage to walk this path. Building a business is not easy. You chose the road of service. You had to not just learn and do your own spiritual work to be able to show up in service and to transform people's lives, but now you have to understand enough about how to run a business to make it work, because it's like a waste of your talent and your purpose to have you go back to getting a regular job if this is what you were meant to do. And so we want to help you take that shift, right? You just really did not choose the easy road, and it's not something everybody is willing to do. So the fact that you're here tells me you're not just interested in making your business work, but you're committed to bringing your gifts to the world in a way that truly makes a difference. And so I believe with my whole heart, and Stephen, I think you would agree, the world needs what you have.
The world does need what everyone is bringing forward who is part of the Shift Network. We are all part of this larger shift in the world, and begins with really owning your gifts and sharing your gifts in a way that creates a livelihood and impacts lives. And so, Sharla, thank you for showing us the pathway how to do that with such clarity. People come out with like a laser beam precision that allows you to just reach out and touch the people that you are most designed to heal, to help, to empower. And it's such a gift and blessing that you're created this body of work. So, and it's also just the by far the best price you can get, robust bonuses. It's a very easy yes from my perspective. Anybody who has work, a healing work, transformational work to bring to the world. So again, it's all at newclientattraction.com, and you'll get that special $300 extra bonus when you sign up by midnight tonight, which is secrets to booking consults. And so you get that when you sign up by midnight tonight. So thank you so much.